Thanks so much for joining us today for Local on 2's Nourish to Flourish Extra, presented by Kroger. It's where we do little deep dives into how you can save money while you're shopping at Kroger, boosting your nutrition, boosting your health, all kinds of great information for you and your family to benefit. I'm so happy to have with us here Cara Miller, who is our Kroger health dietitian, who always shops the store with me.
It's always so fun. Yeah.
I know. We always, you know what? We spend maybe a little too much time at the store shopping, but you know, I pick up some great deals, save a lot of money. And I love that in one of our segments, you helped us stretch our dinner dollars, and I was so surprised to learn how much we can save and how much we can prepare for our families with just a little bit of money. Take a look. Hey everyone, I'm excited to be at my Green Hills Kroger with Cara Miller, who is one of Kroger's health dietitians. She's here to tell us how Kroger is helping us stretch our dollars for dinner. Cara, is it possible for a family of 4 to eat for just $15?
It is possible with our everyday low prices. We focus on fresh quality ingredients at a price that everyone can afford. Not just those weekly deals, but also our digital deals too.
Okay, beef has gone up in price.
Yes.
So are there good alternatives to beef, other proteins, or maybe even good prices on beef?
Yes, there's great prices all throughout the store, including beef and some great alternatives. Let's go shopping.
Okay. Cara, I love your option for delicious beef at a lower cost. I've used this myself. This is great.
Yes, it's really great. It's a thin cut choice sirloin that you can use for a stir fry. So it's cut against the grain for a really tender, delicious product. And if you cook it at that high temperature, you can add in the stir fry vegetables and the brown rice, all for under $15.
Love that. And also love that I know you've got other options of delicious meat that we can utilize that are basically money savers.
Absolutely. We have lower cost cuts of meat that can be a great way to save. Things like your chuck roast or your pork shoulder are really wonderful for that low and slow, especially as we're entering into the holidays.
So I like walking through your meat section, and I love going to the area where you've got beautiful cuts of meat at a lower cost.
Yes.
How does that work?
Yes, as we're trying to move product out of the store, we want to give you the best price. And so we have something on there called a sell-by date. And so that date is actually when we need to get it out the door. So as we approach that, we're going to reduce that cost. You're going to use it within 5 to 7 days, or you can freeze it, and that's a great way to save cost.
Cara, what other options do you like using outside of beef? I know you've got some delicious ideas.
Yes, my favorite is actually the $5 pork chops. They're boneless, so they're really easy to cook, and you can add some potatoes, a salad, and even some steamed green beans. Again, all for less than $15.
Yum, you're making me hungry. You know what we like using at home is the 3-pound ground turkey for $10.99. It's a great value. But you know what if we were to come in and not be able to find that? Is there a good alternative?
Yes, sometimes, you know, we get really busy in the store. If you ever come in and you're looking for the deal and you just can't seem to find it, make sure you stop by our customer service desk. We will be sure to give you a product of comparable variety for the same price, or we can give you a rain check so you can come back at a later date.
I love that. You know what I also love is vegetarian options.
Sure.
Do you have any that we can maybe go look at?
Absolutely. Let's go take a look.
Okay.
A great plant-based option is actually these canned beans. They not only add protein, but they're gonna add a wonderful fiber to help you feel full and satisfied. And they're great options even in the canned section. Sometimes people shy away from canned or frozen, and these are really, really nutritious options, especially something like this with the no salt added to reduce that sodium. If you don't have that at home, feel free to just rinse them off a couple of times, and that saves on salt too. But if we're looking at protein, you can add these through something like chili. You can add the beans, the tomatoes, and even that ground beef or turkey we talked about earlier, and make that wonderful meal for under $15.
Love that, because these are 10 for 10.
Yes.
But you also have a great organic option,
yes.
right?
Our organic Simple Truth beans are only $1.25, so that's a great way to get in those same canned beans if you're looking for that organic option.
I do have to say, I do like that organic option. I shop that myself. Cara, thank you so much for sharing all these great, wonderful recipe ideas and ways to save. I think I'm going to grab my shopping cart now. Do you want to come with?
Yeah, I would love to.
Okay, I'm going to send it back to you. We've got some shopping to do. Cara, I love all those $15 meal ideas. They were so great.
Yeah, they're great. I love $15 meals. Anything to save a buck always helps everybody.
Me too.
Yeah.
So talk to us about staples. Are there things that we should have in our pantry so when we see some sale items, we can put a meal together quickly?
I think that's a really good point. So the three kind of categories you're looking for is a protein, a carbohydrate, and something really colorful, fruits and vegetables typically. So when you're looking for those pantry staples, it's helpful to have a grain or something that's shelf stable that you can use in a lot of different ways. Maybe it's a tortilla that you could use, of course, as a tortilla, or maybe it's a little pizza, or maybe you wrap up a breakfast taco in it or something like that. But I love a tortilla. I love brown rice. You can put that in soups. You can have it with a casserole. You can put it on the side. It's really easy to have some of those grains. And then frozen veggies, great way to add some color. And then of course your protein. So again, don't be afraid of the freezer. I think sometimes we want everything to be fresh, but when you're trying to save the dollar or trying to have things that are easy to go mix and match, it's nice to have some things in the freezer too.
What about in the pantry when it comes to canned items? What would you recommend?
Sure.
Would tomatoes be something good to have on hand?
Tomatoes are great. Beans are excellent. You can do any, I think sometimes we always think of cans, but like those even the microwave bags of rice, that's an easy one to keep in there. Pasta, of course, you've got some really great high protein and whole grain options. So those are all really easy to keep right in the pantry. And even your canned fruits. So we think a lot about canned vegetables, but I know my kids love like mandarin oranges, and you can get the no sugar added, which is a great option.
And pineapple, my daughter loves a little pineapple chunks.
Always good to have something tart.
Okay, what about when we're out shopping and we hit some really great sale items when it comes to things like pork or turkey? Is it good to start building a meal plan around a sale protein?
You absolutely can. So I think sometimes it's good to think about different cuisines when you see that, because a lot of times we'll buy like a whole bunch of chicken and you're like, you can't eat chicken forever.
True.
And so sometimes you can think about it like, how can I make this with a Mexican cuisine, Italian cuisine, maybe your traditional or even a barbecue sauce. So that kind of changes it up a little bit when you're buying something in bulk or on sale. And then also in our Kroger app, there's actually a lot of great ways to link back to recipes, or you can shop from the recipes that are right within the app.
I love that. I've seen that not only on the app, but also I'll sit there and scroll through recipes on Kroger.com at home on my laptop. It makes life so much easier.
It's fun.
Now, talk to me about cooking pork.
Okay.
I'm always a little scared about that, and I feel like I maybe overcook it. So is a thermometer, meat thermometer, a good idea? Because I'm usually eyeballing it.
You definitely want a thermometer. That is one of my biggest tips for people when they struggle cooking meat. You can cook it in the oven, you can cook it on the stovetop, but we tend to not want to overcook it. Not make people sick, so then we do tend to overcook it. And I really like the idea of a meat thermometer. Our pork we want at 145, and the digital ones are so easy now. You just buy it at the store. They're like less than $10. You can keep it in your drawer and keeping that meat around 145. And there is usually a display in those meat thermometers. So for example, your chicken is actually 165, so that you're cooking things to the right temperature without overcooking them, still keeping them moist and juicy and really flavorful.
And that way people will come back to my house to have dinner. And that's why I always shift everything to my husband. He's the better cook. And you know what? I feel like I've seen those meat thermometers walking through Kroger.
They are. They're right in the kitchen section of the store, which is really great. And you can use lots of different sauces and seasonings and things like that too. One of my favorites right now, Kroger has a private selection, 5 pepper, 5 salt, which is excellent on that pork chop, or even some beef products, things like that.
I love that. Well, Cara, I feel like we always just have a wealth of information coming from you that not only helps us save money, but also keeps us healthy and gives us great ideas to try. So thanks so much for joining us.
You're very welcome.
Today.
It's good to be back again.
Oh, good to always have you. Well, folks, if you want to see more of Cara and all her great tips, just check us out on WKRN.com. Go to localon2.com, then you just drop down the menu. You'll see the Nourish to Flourish there. Or you can check us out on YouTube as well, and also WKRN Plus streaming. We'll see you next time.